Hello, YouTube watchers. It is your boy, Bobbledink, and welcome back to X to Play. Today we are playing Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Sorry, I just realised I should not be doing the double jump, so... Is that like £5 in the swear jar? Like, how does that work? We didn't set up the penalty system, but poison chalice maybe? I don't know. But yeah, so today we're in Winter Tundra, and we will be visiting Robotica Farms and Canyon Speedway. Joining me, you can see on screen, we have... Introduce yourselves, guys.
I am Lucas.
Hello, Gin and Juice is here.
Good morning. It's me, the Q Dragon. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've got a cat on me.
And good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Into Robotica Farms we go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, yay. Fun times at the Robotica Farms.
Absolutely.
I've known that people actually consider this one probably the worst Spyro 2 level. Like, I see it come up quite a lot as one of the worst ones.
Well, it's interesting that you say that. Because it's my favourite soundtrack.
Oh, okay.
My least favourite probably being Shady Oasis.
Yeah.
Is there any specific reason for that?
Shady Oasis music sounds like they got the sound files from Scorch, like mixed them up badly, like copied and pasted them over into a Word document and refused to fix it and just put a couple of organ riffs over it. Yeah, it's the weakest effort of any of the Spyro songs, in my opinion, but I mean, it's still a good song, it's still Spyro, I love Spyro, I'm not Miharu, I do love the games, but sorry, that's a bit of a joke there. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Howdy, Spyro. These here
Green
pests
bean.
have infested our farm. Could you find the time to help us get...
Or is it Greeny Beanie?
I think it's supposed to be Green Bean.
I think it's Green Bean because, like, you can get it's like the surname Cook with like an E on the end. You know, it's like it's not
because
Cook,
they wanted to be bougie and fancy with
exactly. Yeah. To be fair, like
Yeah.
that is a premium, like genuine belt he is wearing as well. You know, with so many
Made of-
holes in it. Like honestly, when I'm losing weight and I
Find your way over to the giant
I thought
bug
you were
lamp
done
and
talking.
turn it on so we can zap even more.
Well, I got more to say.
He hasn't.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, when I'm losing weight, right, and there aren't enough holes in the belt, I'm a bit like, oh, do I really have to go and buy a new belt? So I think this guy actually played it right. He just got holes throughout the whole belt. It might look a bit daft, but at least his, like, metal pants don't fall down.
Don't have
metal
enough holes? Make
trousers
your
don't.
own.
Yeah, but then you have to invest in a screwdriver, and it's just, I'm not about that life.
Screwdriver?
Yeah, well, how
Just use
else
a
you
pair of scissors, man.
what, to punch a hole in?
Yeah. Just stab the leather with a pair of scissors.
A
done
robot
it.
and
Gosh.
Wow.
Listen, when you don't
Sounds
have
violent.
anything to hand that's, you know, orthodox for piercing leather, you'll try anything.
So, like, are these carrots edible?
I think
I'm gonna venture no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think that maybe for robots they are.
I don't even
Considering
know
I've just seen a pair
I mean,
of
there's
nuts
a lot
on
of
the
iron
side
in
of them.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that was a carrot. Like, it just doesn't like most of the things in these games. I don't even realise what the hell they are most of the time.
Yeah.
Well, that was a carrot with some nuts in them. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's one of your 5 a day. All the iron you need, plus nuts, so you get
Protein, yeah.
calcium.
Yeah.
You know, sounding pretty vegan.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Funny thing about this level, though, it's a farm that's all about it being run by robots. But I don't see anything that's powered by oil or any reference to oil at all.
This is like probably the most ethical like use of technology I've ever seen. You know.
This,
Unlike
like
our bloody
Spyro
Tory government.
getting all over BP right now.
I wonder
Can't wait
if
for Rishi Sunak to not be Prime Minister anymore. Gosh.
I wonder.
Roll credits. More
I wonder. I wonder if.
Sorry, no. How many times can we interrupt, Johnny? No, go on.
I wonder if the power supply comes from Horikos, like if Horikos is like their energy supplier throughout Avalar, or if it's just magic.
I mean, these windmills are pretty bloody similar, so I'm going to say that the Electrols probably built them.
This feels like the precursor to wind turbines, you know, but I think these guys are the first sort of energy-based world that I don't think has any links to Nasty North, because all we know, as we all know, he is a rich zealot that, you know, like, you know, exploits labor. Is that like a honeycomb ball or something?
I think it is a ball of honeycomb, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
this
it's a
like
piece of
real
corn.
Oh, that.
Actually, it looks
It
like
could be a piece of corn.
Whoa, mate, I'm trying to look at this. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that a paw print? Or is that, no, that looks, I feel like I've seen that symbol before somewhere. Like sort of a shield type symbol. Maybe it's a trophy or something.
Once, long ago, all the four nations lived together in harmony.
Yes! Water, fire, earth, air.
It looks like the Fire Nation insignia.
Or if you could say water, earth, fire, honey. Because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a big old ball of honeycomb.
Yeah.
Oh, sugar.
Not a bullseye, unfortunately.
I also wanted to draw attention to these blades, because what on earth is that made out of? These look like recycled
wood.
doors of some kind?
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
Like, are there any levels? I mean, maybe in Enter the Dragonfly, actually. Like, Dragonfly Dojo, they have doors that look a bit like this. So it makes me wonder if Dragonfly Dojo, like, are in, you know, in direct support of this, which does make this an ethical, people-powered, like, venture. And here we are kind of terrorizing it, so...
Maybe, maybe Avalar is more connected to the Forgotten Worlds more than we think, and those doors came from Bamboo Terrace.
Yeah, very possibly. I mean, my favourite thing about, oh, I just realised I went straight into doing this without having any idea what we were doing. Also, what is this? Is this a clump of hay, or is this...
Yeah.
I think it is hay, but
Definitely
it could
a
be.
hay.
But it has, like, sort of metal linings, so it's a bit like... I
don't know if that's metal linings or so much the texturing of the hay.
But it looks more like sort of, a garage door to me, or like the outside of a skip that you might see in someone's... Did they just fly from back there?
Yeah, I think they respawned.
Is that a hive then?
I'm going to say yes.
I mean, that's really cool if they can build hives out of rockets, or maybe like
Where's
again
the
the
door?
rocket was donated in kind and the hive is inside.
I always thought that they looked like rockets, so...
I mean, I think that is
good at
clearly a
us.
rocket, right? But like, if we were to be able to see through this window, do you think we'd see the hive inside? Like, do you think they do that? And like, when school visitors or school trips come in, you know, they're like, oh, and here's how, you know, insects work or whatever.
It's a good question.
Yeah, that would imply they're making honey though, but here they're just standing on scarecrows. What on earth are you guiding? No, look at me when I'm talking to you. Mate! Come back.
I feel
He's,
sorry for
he's
these
not
guys.
He's not interested in looking at you. He's got oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for these
Bloody
guys. They
Tories.
just like, unlike all the other robots, they just have to stand there.
But like, I don't get what. I mean, is it a scarecrow, a scare robot?
I
It's
think
definitely
so.
a scarecrow.
But like, what are they scaring crows away from? Because like, all this harvest
Nothing.
is picked.
Nothing.
I think the
So-
name would probably be changed in this universe to like Scarebug or something.
Well, let's find out. We have a
bet
farmer
it's
right
not got
there
a
who I
name.
just ignored. Hey, look at me while I'm ignoring you.
These darn bugs are making a joke
Applebee.
of my expensive robot scarecrows.
Or
Can
is
you
it
chase them
Apple
down and
Bear?
flame them, Spyro?
Robot Scarecrows, there you go.
Robot scarecrows. Well, to be fair, you can't argue it's not doing its job because where are the crows?
Yeah, true.
See, roll
When you-
safe.
When you do so much of a good job with the scarecrows that the crows are no longer the problem, and instead it's the insects, I think you really need to reconsider your priorities.
Exactly, right. These darn bugs are making a joke of expensive robot scarecrows. Like, how much money did you sink into them?
Ask Moneybags.
Does that mean in this universe you
Maybe
can
like-
buy robots? So are these guys buying additional robots then? Isn't
this
that just
like-
basically slavery?
Damn, and I was
Yeah.
just calling this enterprise ethical.
Shit, no. This is the least ethical enterprise of all.
Damn, they're making
Yeah, but it's
nasty
not-
naught look good.
It's not using
This is
oil.
robot trafficking, basically.
Bloody hell.
I'm gonna say that this challenge did take me a long time to do when I
Well,
first
maybe
did
that's
it.
why that scarecrow wasn't talking to me, because it doesn't know if I'm a good guy or a bad guy.
Because
when you've been trafficked, you know, you don't know to trust.
Take this doodad I done dug up
Yeah,
yesterday.
probably.
Damn,
This
that's got
dude
dark.
that I done dug up yesterday.
Nice.
That's got really fucking dark.
How do they have like a Tennessean accent? Like, it's probably Tennessean.
Probably because Insomniac couldn't come up with a unique accent for this level.
Especially considering that would
I-
imply that there's a Spyro like version of Alabama out there somewhere. We all know what goes on in Alabama.
Well, I mean, if you've seen like Sparks and Zoe and Spyro and Allura, like those love stories are pretty, you know, effed up, aren't they?
I still don't think it's quite Sweet Home Alabama levels, but
Well, it's interspecies. You know, like, would you
yeah,
marry
but
your cat?
interspecies is well, no, I wouldn't, but you know.
Well, you can have
So,
some.
there is a
rather
debate around
uh,
like whether bestiality is moral, I guess, because you've got to assume, like, you know, can the other species consent, and even then,
Oh,
if they can, does aging work in the same way? So would they have the capacity to understand the choice they're making?
Where are we going in this conversation?
Well, I'm just saying, like, does Spyro and Allura age in the same way?
no.
Because the thing is, Spyro is kind of a kid, you know, but Allura's obviously got some maturity about her.
I was about to say Laura's definitely not a kid. I think we can tell that much.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
she's
think
a
she
fawn.
must be like a young adult.
She's a fawn, and she's like what seems to have position of some sort of power in Avalar.
Yeah.
I mean, also Hunter's like what 28 in this game. If we're going by the birth date that he punches in at the beginning of the game,
But
so
then, is he 28 in human years, like, or like what would his age in cheetah years be? Because cheetah,
presumably cheetah being a type of big cat, so it's
Yeah,
cat years.
the thing is, unlike fawn,
He'd
you
be
know,
dead.
cheetahs are a real animal, so you do have to
Yeah.
consider like how Hunter ages. Which means
'Cause
that
what's the
some of the
birthday at the
athletic
beginning?
stuff he does is quite impressive. It depends if we're going on the American dating system or the British dating system. Or sorry, no, I should say the American dating system or the correct dating system. or whether the Avalarians have a different measure of time. You see what I
I
did
was
there?
just thinking.
Little bit of a jab at our American audience. I do apologise, except not really. Right.
Yeah.
Way to go, Spyro. Them varmints won't be coming.
He has the
Why do they
most
all have the
normal
same
I
names.
offer you a reward.
It's the most shite name in the game.
I am
Donald Trump.
wondering, because they all have the same sounding voice, like, are they all kind of AI generated voices? Like, did one person record like
ChatGPT.
stock phrases a while ago, and the AI kind of learnt and adapted and started reproducing and built society, and that's why they have slave labor now?
Well, I mean,
Something to think about.
well,
This
So
is
I'm
what
just
happens
looking
when I
here.
start playing Spyro, Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm just
You didn't
looking
think you
here
were
on
just
the old.
playing a game, did you?
No.
This
I'm
is
just
a
looking-
game.
I'm just looking here on the old Google, and so if we're going by the date that he punches in, so yeah, he would be, I'm fairly sure, 28.
he's like 176 or something.
Yeah, there was
475.
22475, and presumably because this was made by Insomniac, based on that, I dare say that it would be the American date format. So his birthday would be, so it'd be February 24, 1975.
No,
because they do
wasn't
it
it April
months.
22nd.
But what is that in cat years?
Is it confirmed
wait,
to
no,
be
I
April
see.
22nd? Because in America the date format is month, day,
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
because they do shit weirdly
Yeah,
rather than
you're
date
right, you're
months.
right.
But the
Yeah.
most important thing is, what is it in cat years?
That's what I'm going to try and work out
Yes.
now.
Because
Cat years.
presumably... Oh, actually, yeah,
Calculate.
you can... I
Calculate.
can't believe we're doing this.
Are you ignoring
Hang on.
that deliberately?
So
We started off just talking
when
about
did
the game.
when
and
did
now we're
Ripto's Rage come out? Because I need to be very specific on months. Apparently,
Okay.
It came
dropped
out in November, I think.
'99,
Yeah.
according to this.
Fine piece of
Barley
steering that
corn.
was, Dragon. Here, take this thingamajig I found
I've
in
got
the
a brand
cow
new
pen.
combine harvester.
You got a brand new key.
I got a brand new orb.
So,
And I got nothing.
and
Fun fact: 64 orbs. Nintendo 64. 6,400 gems in the game.
64.
Oh, 64 Zoolane.
Avalazoo.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it is 6,400 gems in the game as well. So they were doing something with 64, and that's my point.
Any closer to finding out, Kiwi?
Still working out at the moment.
Oh, I am on the edge of my seat.
what?
I almost don't want to finish the LP until we get an answer.
While we wait,
Oh, you still don't do a
Uh,
speedway yet.
Yeah.
while we wait, how because we never really got to ask this question before to anybody else apart from Lucas in the first episode, I believe.
Yeah.
So why don't we all listen to Bobbledink telling us, like, what does Spyro mean to you, and how did you get first introduced to the dragon?
Did I not answer that in a previous episode? I guess not.
I don't think so.
I feel
Not to
like
my
we may
knowledge.
have, I'm not sure.
Spyro
Not to my knowledge.
me is, I mean, it is sort of my childhood, you know, my everything, like sort of my true love in video game form, you know, like whoever I end up marrying will have to understand that the purple dragon is part of the package deal, you know, and stuff like that. But in terms of how I got introduced, it's kind of funny because the way I got introduced was through Crash Bash. And I'll explain because, you know, we didn't have the internet, like we didn't have like much knowledge of games. We didn't know what Crash Bandicoot was. like, I think one of my brother's friends just gave us a copy of Crash Bash, so that's what we started playing, and we got really invested and really obsessed with it. And then one day I sort of come down, and then I see my brother playing this really obscure game with like just this random purple dragon with some butterfly thing chasing him around. You know, we don't know what the butterfly is or whatever. And he's on a skateboard in a skate park? Like, what is this game, you know? And then he takes the disc out and it says Crash Bash, and it's like, wait, is there some secret, like, bizarre level or warp room that we didn't know about? And then Reese, my brother, explains that he inadvertently mashed a bunch of buttons and then it brought us through to this game. And so every time we opened up Crash Bash, we were mashing the buttons to go through the skateboarding, because, I mean, what's ironic is people talk about the skateboarding being like sort of not Spyro or whatever, but to me it's the most Spyro thing because it's the first Spyro thing I was ever introduced to. And then of course we did Seashell Shore with the lovely Enchanted Towers skateboard music, and then Molten Crater with the Fireworks Factory music. And yeah, just fell in love, got invested, and eventually my brother got a copy of Spyro Year of the Dragon for Christmas. And I mean, technically I always got in trouble with him because he always wanted me to ask his permission to play it. And that never materialized. I loved the game too much, so I always played it behind his back and everything. So I ended up getting really invested in the worlds, the characters, you know, Sheila, Sergeant Bird, Bentley, Agent 9. And yeah, I'd just spend hours, you know, sometimes when I wasn't at school, I'd spend the whole day playing from the start of Spyro Year of the Dragon all the way to like Midnight Mountain. And it took us like a good couple of years to like finally complete the whole thing. And then after that, we looked at skill points, we looked at different ways of playing, different forms, like glitches, we discovered swimming in air and bamboo terrace and all sorts. Like, it was awesome. A truly marvelous game. And the thing is, I didn't know it was like the third game in a series, like, because it didn't have the number 3 in the title. To me, it was just Spyro. And I think that's what was truly wonderful about it. And that's also why I was like very confused when Elora showed up, because I was like, who are you? You know?
Yeah, that was similar to how I felt when I played Crash Bandicoot for the first time, because I started the third one. But
no, it's weird. And actually, I've played them in the wrong order, because I discovered Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage years later. I didn't even know it came before Spyro Year of the Dragon. I just remember playing it and being like, wow, this is basically a Spyro Year of the Dragon copycat, you know? It's like Spyro Year of the Dragon, but slightly worse.
I bet you thought the same about Eminem's Shell Shock. Oh, that's
well, the weird thing about Eminem's Shell Shock was I didn't think of it as Crash Bandicoot when I was a child, but I thought of it years later. I was like, oh, actually, it did do a lot of borrowing. And then I didn't play Spyro 1 until years later when I got it on PS3. So yeah, I experienced it all in the wrong order, but I love it all the same. But for me, Spyro Year of the Dragon is Spyro through and through.
So, did you finish Spyro 3 before you discovered Spyro 2?
Oh, millions of times. Yeah, literally.
Okay. So, this is
know
where
Spyro 2 existed. And again,
this is where
it wasn't Spyro 3 to me. It was Spyro Year of the Dragon. I did not.
So, and this is where my next question comes in. Is that when you completed Spyro 3 for the first time and you saw the cutscene, a familiar face, what was your impressions on that? As you didn't know Spyro 2 existed.
Well, I knew who the professor was because he's obviously with Agent 9, so I knew him as Agent 9's mentor. I mean, I thought he was Mr. Laser Blaster. I didn't realize that Agent 9 was referring to his gun. So yeah, like, I was like, oh, cool, that's Dr. Laser Blaster, the bear. I thought it was a bear rather than a mole, because PS1 graphics, you know.
Yeah.
And Elora, Spyro fans get upset when I say this, but to me, she's a bit of a nothing character. Like, I didn't really think much of her. I was just like, oh, it's just someone Spyro knows, I guess.
Okay.
And then obviously when I got to Spyro 2, I was like, oh, that's who she is. Yeah, no, I'm Team Bianca any day.
I see. So, upon playing Spyro 2, what have your thoughts changed on Elora at all?
I mean, yeah, like, I don't dislike her as a character. I think if anything, she probably gets...
All right.
I think she gets forgotten because she's so underused in the games. Even in this game, the main role she plays is to stand at the side and be like, Spyro, please help us! Get the talisman, Spyro! You know, like, there's a whole scene she says about having to tame, like, some, you know, enemies in Dino Mines, and, like, couldn't that have been a better use of the missions in Dino Mines rather than doing the same challenge twice, you know, like... You know, I mean, hindsight is 20/20, obviously. I'm talking as an adult with the benefit of years of playing this game and knowing it inside and out and everything else, but... yeah, to me that's just kind of what I always felt. But, yeah,
okay.
I mean... Hopefully a potential other Spyro game could maybe...
Hey, you...
fix those kinds of things, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
that'll be the hope
definitely.
anyway, like new Spyro content, you know, fixing mistakes of past games, or not so much mistakes, but just adding lore and substance.
I think it was more. I think it would have been more due to like the time constraints and how long they would spend on idea generation when it comes to the roles of specific characters.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Elora came a bit later than Hunter did,
But I mean, like,
and like maybe.
yeah, just the general like feeling I get is when people talk about Elora being this really amazing character, it's like I think she had potential to be, but I just don't think she's used an awful lot, like nowhere near as much as she could have been or should have been, which is kind of why I think they didn't bring her back in Spyro 3.
I got
I didn't even know that there was a fan base for Elora outside of, well,
Furries. Yeah.
that kind of fan base, yeah.
Hey,
I mean, that is the fan base of all these characters, really.
Pretty
Well,
much.
all of the furry characters, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like
Yeah.
Bianca.
Anthropomorphic animal characters. Yeah.
But yeah, we're given like Spyro 3 is set in a different realm. There really isn't much room for characters from the previous game to come into that anyway.
Yeah.
Hunter came back, but you know,
And the
he's always been
Professor.
like Spyro's closest chum. Yeah, and the
And the
Professor.
Professor, and Moneybags,
Yeah.
and Sparks,
Yeah.
and Shaman.
Yeah, but like thinking about
Dynamite.
Elora's role in this game, like she's pretty much like one of the first characters you see about and who talks about Avalar first.
Yeah.
So she's put in this centered seat of being like more or less the face of Avalar, since she seems to be the one calling the shots. She's the host.
But we don't
she
see her call the
talks to
shots, is
Spyro.
the trouble. Like, you know,
But you know, like
Who
she
died and made
greets
her
Spyro.
queen?
I want to see it. You know, I don't just want her to stand aside and be like, Spyro, you're our last hope. You know, it's like,
I
no,
think there was a lot
you're
more
a badass.
detail. I think there was a lot more detail in older drafts of the game, specifically with Ripto as well. Like he was more involved in the original draft of this game than he is in the final product.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's always, like a byproduct and stuff. Again, none of this to say that, you know, Alora's a bad character. Like, you know, I'm a fan of this game and I like it. It's just, you know, obviously, you know, like my experience is my experience, you know.
Well, it's not exactly.
You know,
She's not exactly a Shakespearean character.
Yeah.
She's not.
But what I mean is, basically, she's the one who brings Spyro into like the familiarity with the world. Like, she tells us about the world. She's the one we see in Summer Forest, the first NPC we talk to in gameplay in the Summer Forest. So that's basically what I mean, being the face of Avalar.
Oh yeah,
But,
no, of course.
yeah. I do agree though. Yeah, she's a bit underused, definitely. And it would be nice to
if
see
we're
it come
talking the
back
first
later.
NPC in the game, technically the face of Avalar is one of them gem cutters. Was it Twitchy? I think it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Twitchy the
he's
gem
got a
cutter, but
face
face
of-
of Avalar.
Like, guys, I'm not
Yeah.
criticizing Alora, you know. So, like, you
Yeah.
don't need to
Oh, I know.
convince me that she's a good character.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, I just think.
I mean, if anything,
Yeah.
I was joking with you that Twitchy
Yeah.
should be the main character,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Before
those
we-
memes you see of like you know, all the Harry Potter titles renamed Ronald Weasley, and it's like, you know, Ronald Weasley in the year he got a friend, and like the last book being Ronald Weasley in the year he finally got out of the friend zone, and you know, stuff like that.
I will say before we go any further, I have done this calculation trying to figure out what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so here's the thing. I don't think cheetah years are the same as cat years. Having looked at this, I don't think they're the same. Because
Right.
if I'm converting... So, this is what I actually want to just double check with you all, because I want your opinion on this.
I'm gonna run around a bit while you do it, so it's
Yeah,
interesting for the
by all
audience.
means. So Hunter is, you know, basically he's confirmed he's 24 in the game, because this takes place in 99, presumably, when the game came out. He was born in 75, so he is 24 years and 6 months, by my calculation. Is he 24 and 6 months, in your opinion, is he 24 and 6 months in, so cat years, which would be his own cheetah years, or are we just calling that human age? Because there's a discernible difference in the way that it's calculated, depending on whether he is 24 in cheetah years or 24 in cat years. Sorry, 24 in cheetah / cat years or 24 in human years. How do you think we should work? We should do this.
Well, he is a cheetah, so
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah.
So, if we go on that basis, converting from cat years to human years, so he's 24 years, 6 months, he would be 114 in human years.
Okay.
Right.
However, if we convert from human to cat years, I think this is where it gets a little bit more reasonable. So 24 converted to cat years is, he'd be 4 years old.
Oh.
So he's either really fucking old at 114, or he's 4 years old. Which, being an idiot that he is, would actually make a lot of sense.
But I also
Especially if he
think,
keeps losing things.
I also think it kind of makes it lovely that you can sort of now decide how to decipher his character. Because if he's like old, for example, and losing things and whatever, like all of
He's
these,
senile.
but all of these tasks he does where he makes Spyro jump through hoops makes a lot of sense, because it's like, well, I'm still agile and fit, and I want to prove that I'm agile and fit, you know. And I get bored, you know. I'm an old cheater. I'm not as fast as I once was, and whatever. And actually, you know, like he's skateboarding, he's doing archery, he's doing all sorts, you know. Like he's diving, and you know, has a pet manta ray, like, you know, like living the exotic, you know, pensioner lifestyle. But then if he's 4, that also makes sense. So it is, yeah. Put your thoughts down in the comments. Is he, what is it, 104?
Is he 4 or 114
Yes.
by your estimations?
If only he was 117.
Comments. Let's have your thoughts in the comments below.
Personally, I'm on team 4.
I'm on team.
I'm on
100
team
I think
4.
I'm on team 114. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my guests, and I leave you with Ripto's Arena. Well, we have Mystic Marsh. In fact, no, sorry.
Let's say, yeah, Mystic Marsh.
I was gonna say.
I leave you with Mystic Marsh, and then Ripto, well, not Autumn Plains, but Ripto's Arena. You can just about see the band.
Going backtracking, everybody.
Yeah.
Again.
No, I've done all the backtracking. I checked. And Janin Juice, the lovely Janin Juice, will be taking us home. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Bobbledink and Co. out.